This is Money, Motivation, and Mike, and I'm your host, Michael Wainwright. In charge of all the controls is engineer, audio, and video engineer, Jason Wright. And hello to you, world. This is the show that will change your life. You can contact us at info@mx3.vip, and you can always find all of our content at mx3.vip or on YouTube at youtube.com/@mx3 Podcast. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the icon bell to get notified of all of our new content, which comes out roughly every Monday morning around 9 o'clock. A couple of different topics we're going to talk about here today. And actually, Jason, one of the topics is something I never thought we would do on this show, but keeping up with our viewers and listeners, we have to do what we have to do. And this particular topic has made it all the way to Congress. So we will be discussing that momentarily. But something that caught my eye this week, which is very intriguing. Now, back in the 70s and into the 80s, as I was growing up, boxing was a huge thing. Now, I couldn't tell you one person that is in the boxing arena. I mean, you knew the welterweights, the lightweights, the heavyweights. I mean, the Muhammad Ali's of the world and the George Foremans. We knew all these people. Sugar Ray, Hitman Hearns, and then the Beast come along later. And I called him the Beast because that's what I thought he was. And that was Mike Tyson. So here we are in 2024, and Mike Tyson at age 57 is going back in the ring. He's going to take on 27-year-old Jake Paul. And I believe you told me off the air, Jason, you think this is a YouTuber or Facebook or some kind of multimedia star at one time.
Yeah, he does some YouTube videos. I think that's where he got to start.
Okay. Social media. All right. So Jake Paul is set to fight former heavyweight champion Mike Tyson in a boxing match that will be live streamed on Netflix. Well, you know, back in the day, it was pay-per-view all the way. $99 to watch Tyson in a 90-second bout. Now, you did get all the other cards, all the other matches on the card along the way. But now this schedule, like I say, July 20th at AT&T Stadium, we know Mike will show up and he'll be ready to roll. What do you think that place holds? 86,000 normal. How many are you expecting at AT&T Stadium, better known as Jerry World?
That place will be sold out.
I think you're exactly right, because I've come across this information yesterday. Turned on the radio, and the first thing that they were talking about on one of the sports stations is the fact that Mike Tyson is going back in the ring, and started asking each other, would you go? How much would you pay to go watch 57-year-old Mike Tyson fight? First answer was, I'd pay $500 to go watch him. I don't think I would pay $500, but I bet you that this Netflix is going to be $50 to $75, and they will sell it out. Or there's no such thing as selling it out on Netflix, but they will sell it like it's never been sold before. Now, this is not the first time that Paul and Tyson have appeared on a boxing card together. Paul fought in a co-main event on a pay-per-view and saw Tyson fight in an exhibition match against Roy Jones Jr. back in 2020. And I don't know if you got to see that fight, but basically it was Mike Tyson running around trying to catch Roy Jones Jr. Now, I believe that Jones could have knocked him out in 15 seconds, but they let the thing go on the whole match, and no one ever knocked out the other. They were basically giving us our bang for our buck, and I don't know if that was the case or not, that we really got our bang for our buck, but nevertheless, that was the last time that Tyson was in a boxing arena, and before that was 2006. So this is going to be the second time in the last 18 years that Mike Tyson has went into a ring. Now, Paul on the other hand, he just fought here in March, and he's got a 9-1 record with 6 knockouts. Just defeated Ryan Berland in a TKO on March the 2nd. So Tyson's going to have it cut out for him, but all Tyson has to do is get close enough to you one time and hit that head, and you're going night-night. Now, if it gets into longevity, maybe the Paul guy here will have his chance to go and knock out the heavyweight champion in the world, who a lot of people consider to be the greatest of all time. I never thought that Mike Tyson had that much boxing skill. he was not an Evander Holyfield, if you will, but he had power. And he come and he was so strong and so masculine, he could take the blows. And then when he got a hold of you, it was over.
Yeah.
Something we talked about here in the last couple episodes that kind of very disturbing once again. Uvalde just released their police report, their independent report that they put back in play, started this up in July the 22nd. The Uvalde City Council report, which was commissioned, and here's what the findings are. The investigation determined none of the initial 5 Uvalde police officers violated policy or committed serious acts of misconduct. The Uvalde police report, City Council police report, determined that no acts of misconduct were committed by Uvalde Police Sergeant Donald Page, who was one of the first officers to discover children in the other classrooms in the hallway and started evacuating them through exterior windows. Uvalde Police Lieutenant Javier Martinez, Uvalde Detective Louis Landry, and Staff Sergeant Eldoro Canales also didn't violate department policy, the report found. Victims' families cried in the back of the room at the city council meeting this week as the council read the report. Some families later left the room because they were overwhelmed with emotion. Some of the comments, quote, "How do you live with yourselves? Shame on you," unquote. And I'm not going to say the people's names who have said these comments. You can go to CNN and you can find those comments out for yourself. You said they did it in good faith. You call that good faith? These police officers signed up for a job they didn't do. I am going to, because this particular person's name was listed in the article, Uvalde resident Amanda Vargas. Vargas, who is married to a law enforcement officer, said they shouldn't have taken the oath if they couldn't honor it. Very, very disturbing. I can't believe that, we did an episode within the last 2, 3, 4 weeks, the last month, and close to 400 officers on site, and it took them 77 minutes, as we talked about, to enter the room. So now that topic, that topic that I was talking about here, that I thought we would never talk about, and frankly, I've never watched a video in my life. We're fixing to watch, this is a news clip, so this isn't even going to be TikTok. 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 The House committee passes bill that would ban TikTok in the U.S. if the Chinese parent company doesn't sell the app. American lawmakers sounding alarm again over TikTok. And now we have had the Energy and Commerce Committee unanimously vote 50-0, bipartisan, by the way, full of Republicans and Democrats, that they would vote to ban TikTok in the United States of America. So if you voted 50-0 in a committee, and you're fixing to take it to your 435 or 400 and 385, because there's 50 in the room, in the committee, 385 more reps. I'm going to say it has a phenomenal chance to pass. And there's already talk in the Senate that if they are to receive the vote, or if they were to receive the bill after the vote, they would vote to pass it as well. Now, TikTok is saying that 170 million Americans are losing their constitutional right to free expression, which is the First Amendment. And that's how many listeners or how many people that they say the United States of America has on a regular basis, 170 million Americans. TikTok has roughly said that it has never shared or received a request to share U.S. user data with the Chinese government, And TikTok says it would nor honor such a request if one was ever made. TikTok has already been banned by the government of India. I was thinking that, yes, TikTok has already been banned by India. The initial release of TikTok in September of 2016 was only in China and India. So one of the initial inaugural releases, that country has now banned it. And they have cited security concerns over the app's Chinese ownership since June of 2020. Jason, let's run the video here of it being announced and what's going on, and then I'm going to talk a little bit more about TikTok and where we stand on some of these things.
Being targeted by foreign governments, the U.S. government is targeting Chinese companies. Specifically, momentum gaining against TikTok as the House Committee unanimously voted to approve a bill that could lead to the platform being banned in the United States. Lawmakers argue the bill is more of a national security measure against TikTok's owner ByteDance and less really to any threat posed by TikTok itself. Let's bring in Danny Savalos, NBC News and MSNBC legal analyst, and Andrew Selepak, social media professor at the University of Florida. Professor, let me begin with you to sort of describe what the sensitivity is to TikTok and ByteDance, its parent.
Well, there's a couple different issues that are going on. The first is from a data security perspective, and that's one of the big issues that we're hearing about. And it's how the Chinese government.
All right, Jason, with the data security he's talking about, TikTok, when you go on there, they are able to obtain all kinds of data on you.
Yeah, I think your voice, facial recognition type of data, I think they would have all that.
They can take that information and go do other things with it.
Government could, in essence, get access to the 170 million American users who are on TikTok, their data, and use that data for various potentially nefarious purposes, including spying on journalists, spying on politicians, depending on who's using it. The other big and significant issue is how the Chinese government could essentially manipulate the algorithm and provide different content to an American audience or a foreign audience, as opposed to the content that the Chinese audience sees. So we know, for example, that in China, young people are seeing content that encourages them to be engineers, doctors, good citizens, whereas here in the United States, the content is much more about having young people create provocative dances or having a lot more sort of dissensus when it comes to our political system.
Okay, enough on that. We figured out why the United States government is going after TikTok, and with I believe lots of warnings. And I want you to think about this. In October of 2020, TikTok surpassed 2 billion mobile downloads worldwide. Right there on the phone, any time of the day or night, you can go and you can do TikTok. Now, I don't know a whole lot about TikTok, just like I don't know a whole lot about the social media in itself. But TikTok has a lot of goofy, crazy stuff on it. And people are in to, number one, entertainment. And I believe that's one of the main reasons for TikTok, just like he said, going on the youth, our high schoolers, our junior hires, and making goofy, crazy videos and putting them out there. And then with the exposure of that child, all kinds of things, your mind can wander and go wherever it wants with what that could turn into with someone in the Chinese government, which we know is still a communist party, but then have access to. Nevertheless, like I said, 2016, September, China and India was where everything was launched. And the ByteDance is the subsidiary that is big time into running and owning TikTok. TikTok LDT owns 4 entities that are based respectively in the United States, Australia, United Kingdom, and Singapore. So, and I believe the CEO is based in the United States. TikTok says that since 2020, The U.S.-based CEO is responsible for making important decisions. However, multiple reports claim that there is little functional operation between TikTok and its Beijing-based executives and software developers. Now, going all the way back to 2018, remember it launched in 16, and it took a little bit for it to get to the United States. But the United States, such as celebrities like Jimmy Fallon and Tony Hawk, began to use the app in 2018. And this is what the United States is talking about: selling the app to another company, and not have anything to do with the Chinese government. Other celebrities, Jennifer Lopez, Jessica Alba, Will Smith, Justin Timberlake, they all joined TikTok as well. And I think a lot of those celebrities, a lot of the movie stars, a lot of the actors, and I don't know, probably the government as well. Have we seen the government officials on TikTok? I'm sure we have, but I don't know for sure. They all go there to promote and brand themselves. And don't they do it all the time? Isn't that correct?
U.S. government actually hasn't utilized TikTok. However, they have worked with influencers who do use TikTok.
Well, in September of 2019, now remember, I was talking about some of the people that started using in 2018 TikTok. September the 3rd of 2019, TikTok and the United States National Football League announced a multi-year partnership. Now, I don't know how long that has now went on. The agreement occurred just 2 days before the NFL's 100th season kickoff at Soldier Field, where TikTok hosted activities for the fans. And to honor the deal, the partnership entails the launch of the official NFL TikTok account. So there you go. TikTok reported close to 800 million monthly active users worldwide after less than 4 years in existence. In September of 2021, TikTok reported that it had reached 1 billion users. And in that same month, TikTok earned $4 billion in advertising revenue. So I think it's going to be very hard. Of course, if the federal government says that's what we're going to do, it's going to be very hard, in my eyes, for you to keep TikTok out of everyone's viewing ears, etc., whatever you want it to call. TikTok projected that their revenue in 2023 was $14 billion. And it was right at $10 billion in 2022. So they projected it. They still don't have their total numbers. I don't know how that is. I think everybody that keeps up with any set of books knows what their total revenue is on January the 1st. But nevertheless, they're projecting $14 billion in revenue for 2023. And that is up $4 billion. That is a large increase from 2022. And like I said, 2021, $4 billion. So $4 billion to $10 billion to $14 billion. They're going to have a lot of money to lobby some lobbyists. And whenever it does actually reach the representatives, congressmen's floor, Congress people as well, floor, and then over to the Senate. But the United States government seems very, very destined to ban TikTok if TikTok does not make some changes in their particular ownership factor. Since 2014, the first non-gaming apps which came out with more than 3 billion downloads were Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, and Messenger, all owned by Meta. The advertising revenue of short video clips, such as TikTok, is lower than other social media. While users spend time, the American audience is monetized at a rate of 31 cents per hour. Now, that's where we are, correct, Jason, and on our YouTube channel, getting monetized, etc.
Yeah.
Okay. 31 cents is a third of the rate of Facebook and a fifth of the rate of Instagram, with an average of $67 per year, while Instagram will make more than $200 per year off of these clips. In 2023, several high-level executives transferred from BaitDance to TikTok. Now remember, BaitDance is the parent company that owns them. To focus on money-making operations, which is exactly what we've been talking about here. And some have moved from Beijing to the U.S. And according to sources for the Wall Street Journal, the personnel move led to concerns from some TikTok employees in America. And it was reported to the Office of U.S. Senators for further investigation. In December of 23, just a couple of months ago, TikTok invested $1.5 billion in go-to e-commerce business. That's a lot of money.
Indeed.
That's why I would think that the federal government would find a way to make money off TikTok before they banned it from the wavelengths. That's typically been our strategy. So nevertheless, we continue to work on these things. We continue to bring you content that we feel is important to you. You always reach out to us. You can always find us at mx3.vip, and I know you can always reach us, info@mx3.vip, and continue to send us the emails. And you also can, on our YouTube, can't you comment down below, Jason?
Yes, sir. That's right.
Okay, as they watch the videos. Find us at youtube.com/@MX3 Podcast. And of course, like we say, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the icon bell to get notified of all of our content, which comes out around 9 o'clock every Monday morning. So for everyone who's been a part of this, until next time, continue to live your life the right way.